Aloha, I'm Kelly Takaya King. As a newest member of the ICLEI USA Board of Directors, I'm thrilled to be here to present at our World Congress 2021. And my work as a Maui County Council member and Vice President of Pacific Biodiesel Technologies has made me a longtime disciple of our subject, the circular economy, well before the concept had a name. The pandemic has turned this focus into an imperative as we all seek opportunities to pivot and focus on a more collaborative rather than extractive recovery from our economic woes. This photo here shows Hokulea, a voyaging canoe built and navigated using traditional Hawaiian methods. Led by Master Navigator Nainoa Thompson, the Hokulea travels the world to share the message of Malama Honua, which in Hawaiian translates to care for our island Earth. Before globalization, ancient communities naturally engaged in circular economics. The ahupua'a is a Native Hawaiian land management and economic system which divided islands into communities that included ridge to reef, from the mountains to the sea. And the image on the right, it shows many historical divisions on Maui. The image on the left shows an artist's rendition of an ahupua'a. If you look closely, you will see fishermen in canoes at the bottom, people involved in crafts at the shoreline, farmers in stream-fed taro patches and tending plants upslope, and even people at the highest point taking a dip in the river. People within an ahupua'a held kuleana, or responsibility, to each other to manage the area as a complete closed system, and they depended on each other to provide for all the needs of the community within the ahupua'a. When my husband Bob and I started Pacific Biodiesel, we recognized this important concept of connectedness. We sought to provide an innovative solution to the problem of waste and the need for renewable energy. And while the original emphasis was on recycling, we were actually creating a model for the circular economy that became a poster child for the community-based fuel production of biodiesel. While we first focused on technology transfer, building a dozen biodiesel processing facilities across the US, we came home to Hawaii to create our newest state-of-the-art biorefinery that is now a standard for sustainability, employing 80 to 100 people across the state, producing top quality fuel, and helping our state to reach its goal of 100% renewable utility energy by 2045. After 25 years in business, Pacific Biodiesel has grown from a company that converts waste oils to biodiesel into one that employs a closed loop, zero waste agriculture and energy model. Despite the deep environmental principles that guided Hawaii traditionally, our county government has often chosen unsustainable development pathways. For years, our visitor industry has exceeded tourism limits established in our Maui General Plan, leading to social, cultural, and ecological impacts. This top right photo taken on Maui during the pandemic was used in a recent call to action to protest the influx of visitors allowed to congregate within close proximity. As in places across the globe, plastic proliferation and litter has also impacted our shores. And years ago, underground injection wells were created on Maui to pump treated wastewater into the ocean rather than recycle it on land, causing the infamous Lahaina injection well lawsuit. The video shows the impact of the effluent seeping into what was once a pristine reef. In 2019, despite the vote of our council to withdraw our Supreme Court case and instead focus on solutions, the county administration refused to settle, and Maui ended up losing the case as the highest justices in the country upheld the Clean Water Act. Some of us call it a win, and we are now back to focusing on solutions and investing in infrastructure to allow more R1 recycled water use, supported by a state mandate for municipal water use requirements. The pandemic situation is a unique opportunity to rebuild our economy in a more resilient and inclusive way. Working with stakeholders across the state, Professor Kamana Beamer from the University of Hawaii has developed the Aina Aloha Economic Futures Initiative, which combines traditional Hawaiian values with the need to build a more resilient and sustainable economy. Resolutions were passed by the state legislature and the Maui County Council in support of the circular economy. Since then, Professor Beamer has published a policy playbook called Growing a Stronger Hawaii to turn the ideas into actions. Recent and ongoing actions at the local level make the biggest difference. It was my early experience as a community organizer, children's rights activist, and renewable energy innovator that drove my community to cajole me into running for county council. It was the need to bring visionary business sense to our county legislative branch that drew me in. Now in my third term on the council, we have become a mostly progressive body who understands and supports the interconnectedness and wise resource management history of our host culture. This year, things look good for our current county council to continue moving forward on these items, which promote circular development. Last week, our county council voted by resolution to accept an invitation into ICLEI's Circle City Scan pilot project. We look forward to collaborating on this effort, and as chair of the council's Climate Action, Resilience, and Environment Committee, I was pleased to hear our mayor announce in his budget proposal continued funding for his own climate office and a commitment to mitigation efforts. Moving forward, we're excited to work with ICLEI along the circular development pathway to meet waste reduction goals, honor our island's environmental traditions, and transition back into a more local, closed-loop economy which provides diverse and new career opportunities, including in the fields of agriculture, technology, and sustainability sciences. Mahalo nui loa. I'm here for questions after the session. Aloha.